It's September 2022, and with it comes GameMaker 2022.8. This version is focused largely on stability updates as GameMaker is making its way towards its first long-term stable version. For those who don't know, GameMaker recently revealed plans for a long-term stable version aimed at people who require, well, long-term stability. This would essentially be an alternate version of GameMaker that will receive updates only for bug fixes and stability for a 2-year life cycle, giving your team a reliable version of GameMaker if you don't need new features, but do need to submit console builds on a deadline, etc. So in getting ready for that, there's a lot of focus on getting that initial foundation of stability after a year of adding a lot of new destabilizing stuff. Anyway, let's check out the new destabilizing stuff. Call later is now a thing. Not even mentioned in the blog post, but a highlight for me. You can now use a simple one-line function, call later, to create and run a throwaway time source that garbage collects itself after it is resolved. Keep in mind though that these time sources are not children of the built-in parent time sources, and you can't manipulate them with other time source related functions. You can only cancel them using call cancel. They exist for simple, one-shot throwaway time sources, but for that purpose they are excellent. Big fan of this. Audio playback has had a long-awaited improvement. You can now put gain, offset, pitch, and listener masks directly into your audio play sound calls and other audio functions, which will apply those settings immediately so that they're properly synchronized with the sound as it plays. Previously, if you were to set gain on a particular sound instance, you would run into the issue where a few ms of the sound would be heard without the gain or pitch applied. This fixes that issue and lets you preemptively apply sound settings in line. The way tile layers are stored for rooms has been totally rewritten and now uses compression, which makes the file size smaller and importantly carries with it a drastic improvement in the performance of tilemap related tools, in particular for large rooms and tile maps. This is very noticeable in Pokepoke, which has very big rooms and very big tile maps. The select tool is actually usable without stalling GameMaker into a not responding pale screen of doom, and the whole IDE is more responsive in general. However, given this is a brand new format, when you save a project in 2022.8, after editing a tilemap, it will no longer be compatible with older versions or runtimes. So keep this in mind if you're working in a team with source control, etc. It seems they've also taken this opportunity to refactor resources and project formatting in general in a few ways, so keep an eye on your GitHub commits and merges. Additionally, if like me you use GM Live to do room reloading, be sure to grab the update Yellow Afterlife put out to address this change. He has also provided a new alternative version of the GM Live server executable that makes updating huge rooms like mine way faster. Highly recommended. Feather has been changed up quite a bit, continuing the drive to find the balance between too strict and too relaxed. We've now got the option to choose a strict or relaxed type checking, which is how much Feather cares about your code logic being very consistent with what it tries to do with what type of variable. For clarity, until now it was using strict checking, so if you're a loosey-goose maniac with your types like I am, you can untick this so that Feather can stop bugging you to clean your room. For what it's worth, relaxed mode is the default now. There's also a preference to mass control the types of error Feather shows you, opting for just syntax errors, type errors, or everything. You can of course still configure the severity of each rule individually, but doing so is now a bit more optional. Performance and bug fixes are plenty, like a lot of bug fixes. Code coloring should now be faster and Feather should be causing less overall random slowdown and stalling, though I didn't notice much before myself. It's definitely getting somewhere. Even more filters have been added. They're filters. Color lookup tables are kinda neat though. Some older platforms have been discontinued, including Android x86, UWP, you can use the GDK extension instead, and Windows x86, perhaps controversially, but them's the times, no more 32-bit games. There's mention of rollback multiplayer functionality fixes in the release notes, but this only applies to the beta version. This stuff is not yet unstable. I'm not sure why it's in these notes, just a quirk of the process, I guess. That said, there have been some improvements to the beta rollback stuff, including auto-rejection of extremely high latency players, adaptive frame delay support, which is a big deal and also enabled by default. I've yet to review how well it works, but this should be a general improvement to the game experience all around. As always, there's been a ton of bug fixes, and I'll quickly highlight on screen a handful of bug fixes that I found pertinent in particular, but you can read the whole list via links in the description because there is a whole lot of them. And that's all the highlights for 2022.8. It's been quite the year for GameMaker so far, and it seems like there's still quite a lot to come. Endless thanks to my Patreon supporters for enabling my work, and thank you for watching all the way through to the end. Like the video if you liked it, yada yada yada. Catch you all next time.